Hello everyone. I have a Horde base for you that I've been using for, well, shortly before A21 came out. And it's gone through a few iterations, two, three, or four, I can't fully remember. Um, the first one was just was this one just a little bit slightly different on width and size. Um, the back wall was more like right there, so not a lot of space. The hallway here was a little shorter, or not shorter, but narrower. And the second iteration, I added extra strength to the walls and expanded it a little bit. And then the next iteration was an underground version of this space. The the hallway was a one block wider, and I had screwed up on the width of this portion, so I had to put the tripwires on the bottom row of dart traps and the electrical fence where the tripwires are here. And this iteration, which so far is the best one, with these turrets running and all the traps on, I can just sit back here and do absolutely nothing. Now I recorded some video, well I streamed a video of the last night's Horde night, and I'm going to include the video at the end of this video. But now to more of a description, I have electrical fence, I have tripwires, dart traps, and enough space to walk in here to repair. I have four turrets, two SMG turrets here, two Magnum turrets here, and with last Horde night I had the SMG turrets turned off to see how well the Magnum turrets worked, and because I got them from a mod and I installed that today. And surprisingly, the Magnum turrets pretty much kept everything at bay. I just sat back and watched most of the time. Once in a while I'll get a few shots off, but it was honestly a very, very boring Horde night. Now, for this base I have three generators working. Two are for the dart traps and electrical fences, and one of those two also is powering the bottom two SMG turrets. I have two switches here, one for the front dart traps and one for the back dart traps. And that switch is for the SMG turrets, and that one's for the Magnum turrets. Now, the walls, I have them four wide all the way around because, well, in my opinion, that helps prevent them from wanting to just bust down the walls, and they'll just walk all the way around and into this hallway where they get killed. Now, on top of the base, I have two SMG turrets to kill any birds that spawn during Horde night, and it honestly works quite well.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Now, the last version was underground, and I made the ceiling 4 thick as well, and they didn't want to come through the roof. They would dig into the ground until they got to the roof, and then dug their way up until the entrance hallway, and then came in. But once all that digging was done, any additional Horde Knights, they would just come to the front, to the front. As you can see, the Magnum turret is just pretty damn powerful. Now, if you do this underground, you want to have a ramp that goes up. If I had continued to make this underground, what I would have done is I would have dug everything up around it and put a whole top, obviously 4 steel thick, and then just put a whole bunch of wood and then bury it and see. I wanted to see if they would dig if I had done that. I can pull up that map here at the late of the video to kind of show you what it was, what it looked like. But that's pretty much this horde base, and it works very, very, very well. Materials can get a little pricey because steel blocks aren't always cheap to make, but if you're two if you're two players, you can get the materials fast. You just need a lot of forges to smelt it and quite a few workbenches to craft it, and it would take a while, but not too bad. Now, something else I was gonna say. Can't remember. Anyway, this- if you wanted to do more shooting and not have turrets, that you can just get rid of the turrets and just sit here and shoot. But the dart traps will do their job fairly well, though. Without the turrets, and if you don't shoot, the Zeds will actually come all the way to the bars, but they usually don't break down the bars. Though they do sometimes, depending on how fast they get through all the dart traps. But if you're shooting as well, you shouldn't have a problem. Now, as far as my game score goes, we are two players, and our game stage isn't very high, but it's high enough. So, well, I'm going to include the video of last night's Horde base, or Horde night. It's honestly a little boring because I'm just mostly standing there because this Horde base does a really good job. But I plan on making some different Horde bases here in the future. I'm going to experiment with some other designs. Maybe I can make a better one that I like more. A lot of the ones I found on YouTube I wasn't really a big fan of, but there's some designs I have rolling around in my head that I might like more. Anyway, on with the Horde Night video. Now, this is the old iteration of the Horde base. I kind of trashed it, but I trashed it on purpose. Put a whole bunch of exploding barrels in here, and, well, it really didn't do much of damage. It actually survived. But as you can see, I had set up like that, and I had a door here. Now I started digging out everything here. Let me eat something so I can sprint. Alright. Now I dug everything out here because I had planned to completely fill that with wood blocks or something and then cover it up with dirt. But I didn't get to that because A21 became stable and I wanted to start a new map. But it actually worked quite well. They didn't want to dig. They well, they didn't want to dig into the base. They just, when the dirt was still there, they just dug through the dirt to get to the roof, and then they would dig their way out here and then come down here and then in. But with this base, I also had my main base in it, which, as you can tell, I destroyed a little bit more. But I would need to fill it with a lot more barrels to completely destroy it. But it worked quite well. So if you wanted to do an underground, you can. Just just know that the deeper you put this base, the more they'll want to dig into the dirt until they reach the steel blocks, and then they'll dig their way to the front and then come in. I wonder why I can't jump that. There we go. Getting back up here. I had created a chimney shaft for my farming plots. But yeah, like I said, this actually worked quite well. So if you wanted an underground horde base, you can still do it. Just know that the Zeds will want to dig until they get to the blocks. As you can see, there's some digging that the Zeds did right here, but I didn't fill that in. Here's another shaft that they had dug. But I dug everything out here, so I had planned on filling this with wood blocks and then covering it with one layer of dirt. I was wondering if they would try to go through the wood blocks or not, but I might revisit this base at a later date and just to see if it works. Anyway, that's the last iteration of it. So, there you go. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll be posting some future 7 days videos and also some other videos, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.